is short for building information modeling, and for me it's a concept that puts 2D drawings and 3D models together. So when you change something in the drawings, it will automatically update the model, and the other way around. So we try to make people understand how they can sketch with BIM and what the value of BIM is for the early phases. Architects love when they can get a better tool that will make them be better architects. When I started studying architecture more than 20 years ago, I did my first project with 3D, and that was a change in the industry, moving from just 2D drawings to 3D models also, and that has become a standard. I started with Form C, then it was SketchUp, then it was Rhino, Grasshopper, 3D Studio Max, Cinema 4D, Twinmotion. There's so many applications that does 3D. And then the BIM tools came perhaps 10 years ago, where you move 2D and 3D into the same application. And when you do that with BIM, you start to collect data. And you can deliver something that's more than just drawings and models. We're moving into virtual reality, and where virtual reality is really strong in letting ordinary users try the building on before it's built, to see all the mistakes that are not done by architects and engineers not working together, but done by the user not communicating their needs early enough to have it part of the project. I think 30% of materials that are delivered to a building site are never being used. 40% of what they built is being teared down again. So there's so much you can optimize. So it's easy to provide a lot of content to the internet. So that's the new way of word of mouth. You still need to deliver good projects. So when people talk together, and they do, they would say that you're trustworthy and deliver something that's great, especially in the collaboration part that is difficult to measure. I think the last 5 years, there's been a big shift, especially in the larger projects, where building owners demand a lot of data from the architects. And I don't necessarily think that's a good idea. I think data is very valuable. Structured data is even more valuable, and even more if it's delivered in open standards. If it's classified, then it's worth a lot of money. And architects are paid to deliver all this technical data, and it takes a lot of time on the projects. And I think as architects, we're in a dangerous time right now, because we have to figure out if we want to be the technical guys who deliver more and more data, or if we want to be the design guys who do architecture and architectural quality. The building industry in the last 60 years has only seen 10% of the optimization that the car industry had. So we only have 10% of all the clever ways of working together than other industries already developed. So there's so enormous gains that are so easy, and it's not about big data or robots or 3D printing, or it's just about using the same tools that's been there for 10 years and then use them to work together and build better buildings. I think it's important that we do a constant change in the way we work. If we look back 25 years, we were moving from pen and pencil to 2D CAD. And everybody said, oh yes, but that's for the big projects, and a small project is faster to do by hand, or if I'm a small office, I don't need these expensive tools. And today, nobody would ever draw a project by hand. You can do a sketch on a napkin, that's it. Everybody else will start up, because if you don't draw something that's in the right size, you don't want to draw it anyways. If you cannot edit it afterwards, you don't want to draw it. And contracts are changing now, so if it's things that are not in 2D or 3D, you're going to pay for them afterwards. If you didn't draw it, if you didn't model it, you're going to pay for it. So it's changing all the time, and there's no way that you can stay in business if you don't deliver 3D today. And I actually think that it's not the same amount of money every year. I think you should, my bet is you should use more and more money every year for the rest of your life for IT. You might want to use less money on wages, less money on phone bills. So you move something from another budget to your IT budget. But your IT budget is going to be every year, and it's going to be increasing every year. And you can do drawings in perspective, and you can do photorealistic rendering. But what we see now is, especially the smaller offices, they would rather do a rough 3D model in virtual reality. And they don't buy huge systems for virtual reality, they buy Google Cardboard. Some of them buy 500 with their own logo on, and they give it to the customer. We have architects sitting down with their clients, doing the BIM while the client is there, and then they move it to the client's iPhone in a Google Cardboard, and the client can try the house on and say, this works really good, you could change something here, and they can bring it with them home, and they can show it to their friends and to their family. This is the house we're going to build. And that adds an enormous value for the customer and adds no extra time for the architect. We have to reuse bricks, we have to reuse windows, we have to figure out new ways of building. Could it be cross-laminated timber, or is steel framing actually better for the environment? And it's not only if wood and steel and concrete are battling to have the lowest CO2, it's also about how long time will the building stand with these materials, where are they made, how are they transported, and what is the energy consumption of the building. We just started a European research project called Encore, together with 11 other parties, trying to figure out if we can use modern technology as 3D scanning, point clouds, drones to do the data you need for energy renovation, because that's probably, if you want to look at climate changes and want to fix that problem, you should probably look at renovating the building mass first. And if we can get better tools to do that faster and cheaper, we might be able to do something really important. And I think that visual scripting and algorithmic design will fall in the background. And I think that AI will move into not the complete design system. So I'm not just going to ask Siri to do a house that's in this way, but I think that it will be underlying in the stair tool and the window tool and the roof tool, that it understands how we built and automatically let me do design in an easy way. But I think you have to be aware that there's a lot of solutions out there right now that could be dangerous. It's a buzzword for future software called CDE, a common data environment. Everybody should move all their information into a common data environment, and on paper that looks really good. But if the file formats and the underlying structure of that common data environment is not open and free, it's going to be extremely expensive, because when you have put all your knowledge there, then the provider of the common data environment can choose the price per user per month, because you have everything there. And if it's not open, then everybody have to use the software that fits with this vault in the cloud. So we could easily, by mistake, move all our knowledge and all our data in the wrong direction.